Tonight on TrojanVision News, 2 Troy University students have been the victim of identity theft. Tips on how you can protect yourself coming up.
I'm Nicole Killian on Capitol Hill with what's next in the impeachment inquiry, plus why the president could take his case straight to television.
And spells and potions aren't the only thing being cooked up. Troy University's Spanish Club celebrates the Day of the Dead with some sweet treats of their own. To find out more, stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts right now.
From Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network Earl Hutto Studio, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for November 1st, 2019. I'm Hannah Littleton.
And I'm Carissa Justice. Thank you for joining us this evening. Having something stolen from you is never good, but what about when it's your identity? 2 reports of identity theft have recently been filed at the Troy University Police Station, and police say it's becoming more common. Brady Talbert spoke with the University Police Chief for tips on how you can protect yourself.
Within the past week and a half, 2 police reports were filed by the Troy University Police Department involving the identity theft of students. The first involved stolen credit card numbers after a student noticed spending under their name. The second involved a prepaid Trojan credit card, which a student got through their university refund. After receiving a fraudulent notice that their account was hacked, they were advised by the hacker to transfer the money to a different account, where the money was swiped. Police say this is a common trend nowadays.
It's fairly often, believe it or not, and it's becoming more rampant as the internet becomes easier accessible, I guess, for people.
You know those spam emails you receive? Police Chief John McCall says not to click them. He also advises against using public Wi-Fi when accessing a sensitive website such as your bank account. And speaking of your bank account, make sure to monitor your credit card spending.
Don't let it ride and don't think, okay, there's 2 or 3 little small transactions today because tomorrow there may be a huge transaction. So don't let it sit. Come to us immediately and contact your bank as soon as you see something that doesn't look right.
The 2 recent incidents of identity theft are alarming to the university. Dean of Student Services Herbert Reeves hopes students will educate themselves on how to protect their identity.
People are trying to scam people for money, and college students a lot of times, they fall victim to these scams. And so, like I say, we're just really trying to reach out to them, ask them to be, pay particular attention to these type of things.
If you think you are a victim of identity theft, McCall advises you to contact your bank so it can begin monitoring your account. He then asks you to reach out to the police department to file a report. Brady Talbert, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And you can contact the University Police Department at 334-670-3215 or visit their office in Hamel Hall.
While Halloween gets most of the attention this week, there is another holiday that has picked up in popularity in recent years with the release of the movie Coco. And that is the Day of the Dead. The traditionally Mexican holiday was celebrated on campus through some treats. Noah Peavy has the story.
One group of Troy students kept the Halloween spirit alive with a fundraiser today in the Trojan Center. Troy Spanish Club hosted a fundraiser and a raffle to raise money for needs throughout the year.
It's a fundraiser for Spanish Club. It goes towards funding our Spanish pizza nights, which is what we have at the end of every semester. We invite students of Spanish to come and get some free tutoring and also pick up free pizza, and it's a great time to come and learn grammatical concepts, prepare for oral exams, that kind of thing.
Beyond just a fundraiser, the Spanish Club wanted to teach students a little bit about the history of the Day of the Dead.
Dia de los Muertos traditionally has roots in Aztec death rituals and European pagan death rituals. In present day, it's a celebration that takes place over the course of 3 days, so October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd. It includes All Souls Day and All Saints Day.
The Spanish Club will still have one more meeting before the semester ends.
Final Spanish Club meeting will be on November 18th at 4:30 in Patterson 303. We're going to be discussing our upcoming Spanish Future Study Night, which will be on December 2nd. And we're also going to be discussing the agenda for next semester.
For people interested in joining the Spanish Club, there are several different ways for them to get involved with the club.
So the best way to join Spanish Club is to contact me. I'm Spanish Club President, or any of my officers. And to do that, you can either go to Wright Hall and go upstairs into the office of the Modern Languages Department, talk to our secretary. You can talk to our advisor, Ms. Rachel Fournier, or also Dr. Kelly Suero.
You can also contact them on Facebook at Troy University Spanish Club. Dues are $10 for a full year and $5 for a semester. For Troy TrojanVision News, I'm Noah Peavy.
That isn't the only international celebration taking place today. This evening, Troy University's Indian students will celebrate Diwali with a festival in the Trojan Center ballroom starting at 6 p.m. Different countries often have different types of entertainment, and that holds true for China.
Yesterday, Troy students had the chance to learn about some traditional Chinese game and a hands-on lesson. Khaleesi Bai has the story.
Have you thought about what is the entertainment of Asian people without electronic devices? The teachers of the Confucius Institute introduced us to traditional Chinese games on Thursday.
We have prepared 5 games altogether. One is 踢毽子, that means to kick the shuttlecock. And then 斗空竹, and 空竹 is also a very traditional Chinese game. It has a long history. And in English, it might be called Chinese yo-yo or diabolo. And also jump rope, playing table tennis.
Attendees not only experience different traditional Chinese games, but also learn some Chinese words. The Chinese Culture Club also has interesting activities next week.
We are going to have a table tennis tournament for men's singles and women's singles. And the time is from 5 to 7 p.m. on November the 7th. So welcome to join it.
The Chinese Culture Club has a program called Tea Talk. It is free and open to everyone. If you are interested in Chinese culture and want to make new friends, Khaleesi Bai, Troy TrojanVision News.
For anyone who wants to watch the table tennis tournament next week, it will be from 5 to 7 on Thursday in the Wright Hall Gym.
Now for news from across the nation and around the world on Troy TrojanVision News.
Testimony resumes next week in the impeachment inquiry. Thursday, Democrats passed a resolution that sets the ground rules for the next phase of the process.
Nicole Killian has more on what to expect from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is pushing back against the rules for upcoming impeachment hearings in the House. The president tweeted, "The public is watching and seeing for themselves how unfair this process is." Democrats say the rules give President Trump more opportunities to be a part of the process than the last 2 presidents to face impeachment.
In both Clinton and the Nixon impeachments, the minority did not have the right to call witnesses on their own unilaterally.
But Republicans say it's unfair because Democrats can remove some of those rights if they so choose.
They give us an opportunity to call witnesses, but if the chair says that they don't like the witnesses don't come forward.
The investigation into President Trump's dealings with Ukraine continues. Democrats say they could release transcripts from closed-door depositions as early as next week. Thursday, Tim Morrison, the president's top Russia advisor, confirmed to lawmakers military aid to Ukraine was held up by President Trump's demand for the ally to launch political investigations. However, Morrison also testified he was not concerned that anything illegal was discussed during the call between Presidents Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky.
It was positive in so many ways, and I look forward to the American people getting to see what he had to say.
President Trump says he may read the call summary of his conversation with Ukraine's president on live television. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Crews in Ventura County in Southern California are battling yet another wildfire, this one forcing more than 7,000 people to evacuate. The so-called Maria fire is just one of many to erupt across the state during a 3-week period of dangerous fire conditions.
Danya Backus reports from Somis, California.
Flames threatened homes in Ventura County Friday as California deals with another day of wildfires. The aerial assault began at daybreak. The Maria fire broke out late Thursday and spread quickly. At least one building caught fire.
We did see some pretty erratic fire behavior, explosive fire behavior last night.
The fire forced thousands to evacuate, but some homeowners chose to stay to protect their property.
Just within the last 10 minutes or so, it got close enough to where we could actually hear it. Hear the crackling and the flames and everything. So it's getting a little bit closer, getting a little bit more nervous, but still going to stick it out and see what happens.
Hundreds of firefighters battled the flames. Fire officials say their efforts were hampered by a drone flying over the area.
When they go in the air, our helicopters cannot fly. It's just too dangerous.
The fire is still burning on this mountain behind me. Firefighters here in Somis say in addition to keeping those flames from homes, they're working to keep them from power lines and local avocado and citrus crops.
In Northern California, where firefighters have made progress battling the massive fire in Sonoma County, evacuees have started returning home.
We're looking to get back into the daily routine, get back into our own beds.
Really good to be home. Really good to be home.
Strong seasonal winds have been fueling the fires across the state, but forecasters expect calmer weather for the week ahead. Danya Backus, CBS News, Somis, California.
Well, Hannah, it has gotten really cold really fast this morning. I woke up and I had ice on my car.
Yeah, I'm about ready to break out the Ugg boots myself. Aaron, is it time to bust out the mittens?
Well, ladies, don't get out the mittens full force and don't get them out of the box, because we'll be still seeing 60 and 70 degree temperatures throughout the week. And we'll look at all of this and more when we return.
At Troy University, we offer military students more than just flexibility and convenience. We offer top-ranked programs that are an investment in your future. And like the military, you'll be part of something. A powerful network of more than 158,000 alumni worldwide. And we will be with you all the way. Up to 50% tuition scholarship for military and family. Trojan Warriors, one and all.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Now, your weather on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome back to your weather. I'm Aaron Dixon. As we look at the quad cam behind me, we can see that it is a beautiful day in Troy, Alabama. It is post-Halloween. We are officially into turkey season, and we're going to look at all that and more right after these current conditions. So we look at these current conditions. Skies are fair. Temperature sitting around 60 degrees. Relative humidity is sitting at 46%, with pressure coming in around 30.22 inches. And then winds come from the north at 7 miles per hour. So it's backed off a little bit because it was about 12 miles per hour earlier today. Then as we move into our high today has been, like I said, 60. We have reached our high, and our low is back early this morning at 34 degrees. So if you had some ice on your windows or you have that, that's your reason why, because it's opening up 34 in the morning. And so our record high was back in 1935, it was 88 degrees. Our record low you can be found in 1993 with a low of 29 degrees. And no rain has hit the ground today. We haven't had any rain since last night. And so then as we look at around the state, we have Huntsville 53, Birmingham 56, Phoenix City at 58. And then we have Montgomery 61, Troy at 60, and us and Mobile are matching because Mobile's also 60, and then Dothan's coming in around 63. Then as we look at around the whole southeast, we can see that everybody's kind of sitting in that trend of upper 50s, low 60s, except Florida, of course, they're down in the upper 80s. And then as we move in across the whole United States, we see a trend. There's definitely a line you see that everybody above about, Missouri is sitting in the 40s, but then everybody below Missouri is sitting in the 50s and 60s. And so everybody's seeing that constant trend of these kind of winter temperatures, these fall temperatures. And so then as we look at Saturday, no rain. You can find that on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tuesday is when like a little chance will come in. We'll be watching some systems down in Texas, but we're also going to be watching this system that's down the Panhandle. And then as we look at tonight, it's going to be a low of 37 degrees. It's going to be mostly clear skies with calm winds. And then as we look at tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 62 degrees, sunny skies. Winds come from the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then as we look at Saturday, high 62, low of 36. Sunday, high 63, low of 40. Monday, high 67, low of 49. And then on Tuesday is a high of 72. Then as we look at our game day forecast, their football team is traveling to Conway, and they're almost matching conditions in Troy. That's all for your Troy Trojan Vision forecast. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Coming up on Troy Trojan Vision News, an owl has to be rescued from a truck's grill. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
And the football team is ready to bounce back against Coastal Carolina. Seth Carpenter has more coming up in sports.
A lot can happen in a day. So when you're ready to know more than just what's happening, we'll bring you the voices who can tell you why.
This is All Things Considered.
Listen every afternoon, 3 to 5:30 p.m. on Troy Public Radio.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome to your Troy Trojan Vision Sports. I'm Seth Carpenter. The Trojan football team is looking to bounce back against Coastal Carolina and get the chip ship back on its main voyage. But in order to do that, the Trojans are going to have to beat a fast and athletic defense in Coastal Carolina. Head coach Chip Lindsey talked about their defense.
Defensively, you see a multiple defense. They go back and forth, odd to even. They seem to play extremely hard. Watching their game just recently with Georgia State, which is a good comparison for us because we just played Georgia State. Those guys fly around the ball. I think they do a great job. Their defensive coordinator's got him Chad Staggs. That I think previously he was, maybe at Furman and did a nice job there for those guys. So they present a lot of different things. They are, pretty athletic and big up front.
Trojans will take on the Chanticleers at 2 p.m. in Conway, South Carolina. The game will be broadcast on ESPN3 and the Troy Sports Radio Network. History does favor the Trojans, however, as Troy is 2-0 all-time against Coastal Carolina. And basketball season is right around the corner, and it will be the women's basketball team who will be up first in Trojan Arena. Last year, the Trojans scored the most points per game in the Sun Belt and led the league in rebounding. But one thing that the Trojans were not so good at last year was limiting their foul trouble. Last year, the Trojans were called for 696 fouls, while only drawing 590 last year. That's a negative 106 difference in fouls totaled throughout last season, and head coach Shannon Rigby said that is the one number they really want to improve this year.
As far as a number we're trying to keep down this year is our fouls. We have been plagued with being too aggressive and fouling too much, and my assistant coaches have really been having the whistle out at practice and making the team aware of when we're committing unnecessary fouls, and I hope that pays off in the Fort Valley State game.
Women's basketball team will be back in action Tuesday night against Fort Valley State at 6 p.m. in Trojan Arena. If you cannot make it out to the game will be broadcast on ESPN+. And Troy's 13-match home win streak is on the line this weekend when the volleyball team will take on Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina in Trojan Arena. The Trojans haven't lost back-to-back matches this season and look to rebound after a tough divisional loss to in-state rival South Alabama Tuesday in Mobile. The Trojans are looking for their 9th Sunbelt win on the season against App State, and that would be the second most conference wins in a single season in school history. Most in school history being 10 back in 2012. That record with 2 wins at home could be tied this weekend. The first game of the weekend is tonight at 6:30 p.m. in Trojan Arena against App State, and game 2 will be tomorrow against Coastal Carolina at 6:30 p.m. Both games will be broadcast on ESPN+. And the Trojan cross country team is coming off of a 10th place performance for the men's side and a 14th place performance for the women's side at the UAB Blazer Classic last Friday, and are now getting ready to compete in the Sun Belt Championships tomorrow, November 2nd. And so Hannah and Carissa want to wish the best of luck to the football team, volleyball team, and the cross country team as they go into their matches and games this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them redeem themselves, really.
Absolutely. And, we've been talking a lot about volleyball and football, but cross country is having their Sun Belt Championship this weekend, and I can't wait to see how they fare as well.
Definitely. Thank you.
Troy University is looking for students to be a part of the McNair Scholars Program.
Aaron Taylor learns more about how they can get involved in today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Dr. Dolo Diamina, here to talk about the McNair Scholars Program here at Troy University. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for inviting me, sir.
And for the folks at home who are unfamiliar, tell us, what is the McNair Scholars Program here at Troy?
The McNair Scholars Program is to help young men and women who have high GPA, but they come from low income background. They are underrepresented, and they are also from an underrepresented ethnic group. And our job is to help them prepare for graduate school, particularly to go and get a PhD in their fields of study, so that we can increase the underrepresented population into academia, so they can teach in the school, in the universities, thereby encouraging other low-income people that, yes, we can do it too. I see Dolo, he did it. You know, I see Mr. X, he did it, so I think I can do it too. So that's the program that we have. We're supposed to be sponsoring and training 25 scholars, but right now we have only 18.
Okay.
That's my concern. I have been making a lot of effort to recruit, but I'm short on those 9 scholars. I want 10 really.
Yes.
So there can be some backup. So this is why I came here, to be able to talk with you, to help me promote this program, because it's very essential.
And what is the way that this program is helping these students prepare? What are some of the things they do when they become a part of this program? What actually are they doing once they're a part of the program?
Preparation for graduate school. And one of the things we do is to teach them the fundamentals of doing scholarly research. And that includes, we hire somebody who is a specialist in doing research. Right now we have Dr. Jones, Jacqueline Jones, who is biomedical sciences, very good. In fact, she is a graduate of the McNair program. That's how she got her PhD. It's very good. So she's teaching them how to do research, from the very research question to finding. So the ones that we trained last year, we went to conferences. That's another way, but they had to practice at home. Oh. We practiced in Dothan, we practiced here before we took them to Atlanta. The first year, they didn't do any presentation. Watch the other students, because this program is in 151 educational institutions in the U.S. So the other students who've been in it longer, they were doing their presentation. I say, you take notes, learn from them, because next year you will be doing the same thing. So we came from Atlanta. The next time we went, it was in Florida International University, which is in Miami. And they did pretty good. Some of them were pretty nervous. I expected that. So workshop is done. We'll come back for them to work on areas that they didn't really get. And then we'll go to graduate school and visit for them to see whether they would like to go to that graduate school, and talk to some professors. In fact, last year, Miami, we went to FIU. That was one of the schools. And then Atlanta, Georgia, we went to the Mohawk College School of Medicine, and they talked to professors there and a recruiter. So research, visits to graduate school, and we'd also do cultural enrichment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and now you said you're looking for some folks. So what do they need to do? If someone out there, and they fit these requirements for the program, what should they be doing to become a part of this program? Because like you said, you're looking for people, right? So.
Yes. They need to come to my office, which is in, what do you call that? Shackelford Hall, Annex Room 109B. And you ask for Dr. Dolo. Everybody go up to
Dr. Dolo.
Yes, 109B. Or if you don't want to do that, you can go on the internet, which you put in the search and say McNair program, it will pop up. And you will see all the requirements for qualification, which I have a card here, which I call the highlights. You must be a U.S. citizen or a permanent legal resident. You must be determined to pursue doctoral program. You must be a Troy University undergraduate with a minimum of 30 credit hours. Here we come, GPA. Cumulative GPA 2.5 or better.
Okay.
You must have that. You must be a first-generation, low-income, and/or a member of underrepresented population or group. Sometimes people get confused about what do you mean by first generation? Meaning, you are going to be the first one in your family to get a bachelor's degree. When they say underrepresented, it means in your ethnic group, in your race doesn't have a lot of people with doctorate degree or PhD. So we want to increase that number. So when you fall in any of these categories, then you come and talk to me.
Talk to you. And once again, if they want to do that, where can they find you again? We're running out of time here. Where can they find you?
109 Shackelford Hall.
All right.
Yes.
And then come see Dr. Dolo, and he'll try to get you into the McNair Scholars Program and help you towards that next level of education. I want to thank you for joining us here today, telling us about the program, and good luck finding those new scholars. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Teens are spending even more time on devices, and that doesn't include time spent looking at screens for school.
Mandy Gaither has more on the uptick in teen screen time coming up in today's Health Minute.
More than 7 hours a day. That on average is how much time a U.S. teen spends watching a screen for entertainment, according to a new study by the nonprofit organization Common Sense Media. Researchers say screen time has inched up by 42 minutes a day since 2015. Data from a nationwide survey of more than 1,600 youth between the ages of 8 to 18 was analyzed. The study says tweens spend nearly 5 hours looking at screens. Most of the time in both age groups is spent looking at TV or videos. The research shows for tweens, YouTube dominates the online video space. Youth also spend a majority of time using devices to play games. Risks include the potential for youth to be exposed to harmful messages online and for them to become socially isolated, spending time on devices instead of with peers. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A Southwest couple got a little too up close and personal with an owl when it flew headfirst into their truck and got stuck.
Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
An Arizona couple was understandably startled when an owl became lodged in their truck's grill. Who, me? Yep, the great horned owl, seen here giving us the stink eye, is recovering after it got stuck head first in the grill.
We heard a loud bang and she thought maybe somebody had ran into us.
After the couple failed to free the owl themselves, they called wildlife officials, but they had to leave the owl stuck overnight. It was freed first thing in the morning and is now recovering at an animal sanctuary. As for the damage to the truck, the couple says they don't give a hoot.
We're just glad the owl's okay. We can replace the grill.
The number one thing needed to survive on the International Space Station is oxygen. Everyone knows this. But perhaps a close second? Cookies! Maybe that's why scientists are set to launch a cookie oven into space along with other supplies for the space station. Until now, astronauts have only been able to reheat food, but this high-tech easy-bake oven will allow them, for the first time, to do a little home-style baking. Well, hope everybody had a happy and safe Halloween. This new image from NASA's Spitzer telescope of what experts call the Jack-o'-lantern nebula is a perfect farewell to the ghoulish holiday that's equal parts spooky and spacey. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, we are just about out of time, but before we go, we will get another look at our weather.
Yes, Aaron, what are our conditions looking like?
Well, ladies, tonight we're dealing with a low of 37 degrees. It's going to be a mostly clear skies, calm winds. And then as we move into tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 62 degrees, sunny skies, winds come from the northwest between 5 and 10 miles per hour. In our 4-day forecast, we see with Saturdays, the sunny skies, high of 62, low of 36. And then on Sunday, it's a high of 63, low of 40. Monday, it's going to be cloudy skies, high of 67, low of 49. And then on Tuesday, you're going to have a high of 72. And so don't forget that to fall back an hour, so set your clock back an hour because it is daylight savings time. That's happening between Saturday night and Sunday morning. So don't forget that, and don't forget to set that clock back. And so as we look at our game day forecast, the Trojans are traveling to Conway, South Carolina to take on the Chanticleers, and it's kind of similar temperatures. We have tailgating at 61 in Troy. It's going to be 58 in Conway, and then kickoffs high 62, and it's going to be 62 at kickoff. That's your conditions for tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend. Now back to the news desk.
That's all the time we have.
And thank you for joining us.